Three's Lives. I'm your host, Lilly Sanchez, and today's topic is lukewarm Christianity. We have here my cousin, Ohas.
Hello.
Do you mind telling us what lukewarm Christianity is?
Lukewarm Christianity, it's from Revelations 3:16, and it basically says if you're lukewarm, I'll spit you out, and if you're cold, that means like you're not with God and you're nowhere near Him. But if you're hot, that means you're with God. And if you're in the middle, even though you're like kind of with God and you're only there on Sundays or something, He still will spit you out because you're not for Him.
That's a really good point of view from it. Do you mind talking about like how we know each other?
I've known you my whole life because you're my cousin, but we'd hang out at parties like and stuff. But later we were at a party and I started talking to you, and then we got really close.
Yeah, and we started hanging out more, and how we like play video games together and stuff. Yeah. So, what does it mean to be a lukewarm Christianity?
Christian.
It
means like, let's say I just go to church on Sundays and that's it. There's no like, I sometimes do like youth group or whatever, and I'm not really like there for God. I'm just there because I want, or because like people tell me to, and it's like this whole thing. It's a hard thing to talk about though, because like
you're in it and then the next day you're not.
Yeah, because you're not. Usually lukewarm Christians aren't really like, they don't know that. They're just doing it, but they're not doing it fully. It's not like a whole thing. They're not like
they're
worshiping.
in it on like the weekends, but on the weekdays they act like they don't even know Him.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So what do you think it's important we all are in for Jesus for?
Because if we're all in with Jesus, it helps us become a better person. Well, and also we get to know God, and we'll go to heaven, and that's like the best thing you could ever have, you know? And it's like, as a lukewarm Christian, it would be, you wouldn't really be like a Christian. It's just like you're kind of there.
Do you think a lukewarm Christian would go to heaven?
No. In the verse, it says, if you are lukewarm, I will spit you out. Yeah. Instead of, I don't know how, that's a weird way to, but like, He won't take you in. He's going to spit you out and you're going to go to hell, and that's not what you want.
So like Revelations 3:16. So because you are lukewarm, you are neither hot nor cold, and I will spit you out of my mouth.
Yes.
So how does someone know if they're lukewarm?
That's a hard thing to say, because if either that's not really like something that you can't just, oh, I'm a lukewarm Christian, and then you're just not, and you do. It's kind of up to God's decision, and that's His. Either He wants you to be with Him, or He doesn't want you to.
It can be also based upon your decision if you want to put your life towards it.
And
if you want to like focus towards God.
If you focus towards Him, it would be different.
Yeah.
And also, it doesn't mean like, just because you focus towards Him on like the weekends or something, doesn't mean like if you pray and stuff. And if you think you are one, you can try praying to know God and ask people for help. And even just questioning if you're a lukewarm Christian, like, I feel like by then you're probably not, because you're worried that you're a lukewarm Christian, which means you want to be with God, you know?
So now, based off of that question also, we're asking how people would know if they're a lukewarm Christian, but how can you tell if somebody else is?
Well, if they are one?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, what if they just go to church sometimes, or like, you know how you go on the holidays and stuff, you go to church, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian. It's not really like, you're kind of there, but you're not 100%.
Like
you're not.
Just go for Christmas and Easter.
Yeah, that's not a Christian. You're a lukewarm Christian. You're there just some of the time. And if you're like a real Christian, you would be in there full every day, every service. You know, you go
and
you help out with the ministry, do like nursery and stuff, and if you can, like work.
Put in like volunteer hours?
Volunteer hours and all this stuff just to praise God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to show him that you really care and that you're in this 100%.
Yeah.
So was there a time we should both answer this, but was there a time you were lukewarm?
I feel like when I was younger, my parents, they were all Christians, and I would go to church because they wouldn't leave me at the house. And when I was in like Kingdom Kids and stuff as a kid, I didn't really know what being a Christian was. I felt like it was kind of like just learning about this thing, and after church and stuff, I would just go home and I wouldn't think about it. And as I'm getting older, like this past month or two, I was thinking like, am I a lukewarm Christian? And I started talking about it, and now that's kind of the reason I wanted to bring up this topic for others that might be thinking about it.
Yeah, I feel like when I was a little younger too, because we used to go, me and Izzy would go to a church, but we felt like we couldn't fit in. There wasn't really like that big of a ministry. We didn't really feel like we were belonging in that church, so we didn't really like enjoy going. We would just go and just try to get it over with. But now we went to a new church. We're trying out. We have a lot of new friends there. Yeah. And now we actually enjoy it. We like hearing God's word and learning about like everything they have to offer.
Yeah. Another thing that I think is interesting about that topic is like, if I feel like as I'm growing in my faith, that the music, because I used to not like the music, but now I like listening to the music and hearing them preach about God.
Yeah.
And that's also like a good sign as well, that like, because I know people that are like somewhat of a lukewarm Christian that they don't like the music at all. And I feel like that's also part of it.
Yeah, because I feel like the music, I used to like think it was too loud. And it wasn't like too enjoyable because you were just over there covering your ears the whole time. You didn't really understand it. But now like you can sing along with it and you know like the words and what it means, versus like being younger and not knowing like what the words mean, how it is.
Yeah, I feel like also as I got older, I also grew in my maturity and like faith with God.
Yeah. That's really good. When you grow older, you feel like you have a closer connection with them. Then like feel people like double your age do. Yeah. It's really good to start when you're younger too.
And also, even like if you're younger and you think you don't fit in because your church doesn't have this like kids ministry or something, you could still love God and care and think about, and also just pray about it, because God works through everyone and not just like people older than you that have been worshiping for like 20 years or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Like they could just do it like every day and like have a good time. Like my mom in the morning, she'll like when she's making everybody breakfast, she'll play like some Christian music. Yeah. And she'll just like dance along with it. She'll have a good time with it. I feel like that's something that like a lot of people do, especially as they get older. They start to like just think of it as a daily basis thing, just to like casually play it every day. Yeah. So like, what can someone do to strengthen their relationship with Jesus?
You can pray for, it. You can help worship in the like worship in church and read the Bible, and whenever like, I feel like a good one is if you're thinking about something that's out of your control, but you need like, if you have a family member in the hospital or something, you can pray for them, and that helps you ask for God and like think, and it's really helpful.
Do you feel like somebody who is a lukewarm Christian can still like fix their life, like last minute, they can still like go love towards God?
Yeah, you could be in prison for 20 years and God will still love you. And it's like you could be on your deathbed and God, like in like a snap, you could be like, I believe in God and I want to be with him fully, and then he'll take you in. Yeah. Yeah.
Because when, like, last minute, some people think it's already too late for them
Yeah.
and they don't even try. But Jesus loves you and he will take you in any minute. He died on the cross for his sins.
Yeah. He wants us to be with him in heaven.
He doesn't like us to be alone, doesn't want us to be alone ever. So, like, last minute, if you think it's too late to accept Jesus, you can. Have you ever accepted Jesus in your heart?
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing one?
Well, I try to do it all the time, but also I got baptized, I think like 2 years ago or something, and that was like a big moment for me because when I was up there on the stage and he was telling me, like, asking me all the questions, I was like, this is it? Like, I'm gonna go to heaven now. I'm with God. And also the other thing is that the scary thing is that I think sometimes that what if I don't believe in Jesus later?
Yeah.
And that would suck, but I try to not do that. I pray about it. Like if I'm thinking, what if I don't? I'll ask God for his help and guidance through that.
Like, it's cool when you're being baptized because that's when you feel like you give your life to Jesus.
Yeah.
When have you given your life to Jesus?
When I got baptized, I feel like that's the big moment when I gave my life to Jesus.
That's like the big acceptance of it.
Yeah. And also, like, before that happened, I think one day I was just like in my room and I thought about God and I was like, I want to be there with him. I believe in him, you know? Yeah.
It's cool. Like, when I got baptized, you were there.
Yeah.
I had my mom and my mom's best friend baptized me, and we did it at a beach, and I thought hearing all the words, like, just hearing what they would say, like what you said, like, giving your life to Jesus, like, it's so cool.
It's awesome.
Like, just giving your life to Jesus, because then now you're like, oh my gosh, I can go to heaven. Like,
it's definitely a big celebration.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone in heaven is also celebrating.
Yeah, because every day, like, even though in real life you feel like it's so sad because somebody dies, but you know they're going to a better place.
Yeah.
They're going to spend the rest of their life with God.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool thing. So when somebody is in, like, lukewarm Christianity, do you think, like what are your thoughts on it? Like, when you just think of it, like, lukewarm Christianity.
I feel like also, like, you could, like, I know people that are really, they're like deep in the church, but they could also still be lukewarm Christians. You could, like, you know how if you would lie to yourself, it's still not true?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like, if I do all the motions, but I don't believe in it, then what's, like, you're not a full Christian, you know? Like, it's...
You lie and you try to believe it yourself, but God knows you're lying.
Yeah, if you're, like, even, like, small things, like, you, like, lying about praying. Like, you pray all the time. It's like, oh, yeah, I pray every day. And you don't. That's also, like, also lying to yourself as a...
Yeah.
But also you could... I feel like the people that are lukewarm Christians don't know that they're lukewarm Christians. They
accept themselves as Christians.
Yeah, they think they're Christians, but they don't, like, do the steps for it. Or they don't think they're Christians, and they just do it for the like, to hang out with people or to find a community.
They think, like, they're just casually, they're Christians because they just go to church.
Yeah.
They don't have to listen to the words. They just think that they are because they just go to church.
They
say that they pray. They say that they go to church. They do go to church. Doesn't mean they have to. They listen, but you can tell when somebody is a Christian and a lukewarm Christian if they don't, like, put in the effort to try to, like, be there for God.
Yeah.
When God asks you to do stuff, you can tell, like, when somebody's, like, lying to themselves about it.
And also, even if you can't tell, I feel like just praying for people in general is good. Like, if you have a friend that's not even a Christian at all, it's also good to pray about them.
Yeah.
And, like, if they're having a hard time. And it's just good, like, even if you think you are a lukewarm Christian, it's always just good to pray about it and leave it up to God, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because some things you can just feel like you just leave it up to him and he'll handle it. Like, he knows what he's doing. He
Yeah.
created the world, and he knows how to. He created it. He flooded it. He made the rainbow as a promise to never do it again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was a really good segment, actually.
Yeah.
I really like this one.
Me too.
This is a really good one for lukewarm Christianity.
Yeah.
Do you have any more comments for it?
If you're feeling like, oh wow, I think I'm a lukewarm Christian, just pray about it. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining